And staying in Latin America, Colombia has announced that it will halt all arms purchases from the United States, its most important military supplier, in response to Washington's decision to accuse Bogota of failing to control drug trafficking. The announcement came from Interior Minister Armando Benedetti, who told a local radio station that from this moment forward, weapons will no longer be purchased from the United States. This decision followed comments by President Gustavo Petro, who accused Washington of trying to interfere in Colombia's domestic politics ahead of next year's elections.
Simply put, the USA is meddling in Colombia's internal politics, wanting a puppet president. The Colombian people will respond, deciding whether they want a puppet president like the one who sold out Panama or a free and sovereign nation.
President Trump formally decertified Colombia as a partner in the fight against drugs, arguing that cocaine production in the country had risen to what he called all-time highs. While analysts say the decertification is largely symbolic, it has nonetheless strained the relationship that has long been a cornerstone of U.S. policy in Latin America. Washington has around $71.6 million in active sales cases for defense services to Colombia under the Foreign Military Sales Program. It currently provides about $380 million annually in anti-narcotics assistance, and over the past several decades has sent billions of dollars to Colombia to strengthen its armed forces and counter illegal armed groups. Now Colombia has vowed to fight the drug trade with or without the U.S.
The only one who wins if we don't work together is crime. Our fight against drug cartels will continue, with or without the support of the United States.
Now, Petro has insisted that his government has seized more cocaine than previous administrations and has pushed for alternative approaches to the drug war, including protections for those that grow cocoa. He's also slammed Washington's anti-drug policy, saying the U.S. had lost its own war on drugs.
Your entire anti-drug policy for the past 50 years failed. Failed! I repeat again, failed. The war was defeated by the mafia and drug trafficking, and by a society that does not give love in the United States, and less love in Europe to its citizens.
And speaking at a cabinet meeting, he said Colombia will not be blackmailed by the United States and that he's not concerned about the prospect of losing aid. He's also denounced the Trump administration's decision to blacklist the country over the drug war.
The statements made by the Trump administration true in regard about Colombia, about my own anti-drug strategy, are lies. They decided not to look at the figures that were given to them. Instead, they preferred an ideological alliance of extreme right-wing, that of the Colombians in Miami, who are very wealthy and live close to those who currently govern the United States.
The disagreement has also become highly personal, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio describing Petro as erratic in his handling of drug enforcement, a charge the Colombian president dismissed by pointing to recent U.S. strikes on Venezuelan vessels in the Caribbean, which he called truly erratic.
They have just destroyed another boat with 3 people on board, even if they were carrying cocaine. Killing 3 passengers on an unarmed and unarmored boat with a missile is murder. And the United States government is murdering Latin American people in their own land because it is territorial waters. It has no right to do so. And if there are Latin Americans here who grant the U.S. government the right to murder defenseless Latin Americans, they are nothing more than sepoy.
Petro added that Colombia would not kneel to U.S. interests nor allow rural farmers to be beaten down in the name of foreign priorities. Now, this is all part of a wider clash between Petro and Trump, which has included disputes over extradition requests, immigration enforcement, and even international issues such as Petro's decision to cut diplomatic ties with Israel over the war in Gaza. Now, although Trump placed Colombia on the drug blacklist, he simultaneously signed a waiver to avoid automatic sanctions or cuts in military funding, a move that suggests Washington still values its long-standing ties with Colombian security institutions. Now, the suspension of arms purchases by Colombia now adds a new layer of uncertainty, not only to the flow of U.S. military aid, but also to the broader security partnership between the two nations.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English, French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktoren,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.